Hi, my name is Jolene Espinosa, and I'm going to be presenting on my proposition for the Authentic Voice Lab, Writing AI and the Craft of Original Thought. Writing is how students learn to think. The initial application of metacognition. And right now, that process is changing because of artificial intelligence. The question is no longer whether students are using AI. It's whether they recognize and understand what it's doing to their writing, and also what it's doing to their thinking. What we are starting to see, and what teachers are talking about seeing in the classroom, is writing that appears very polished, but lacks ownership and depth. Students are relying on generated language instead of developing their own ideas and their own voice. As a result, they struggle with diction, structure, and recognizing rhetorical decision making. The issue is not that students can't write, it's that they have not been taught to experience writing as a process. It's a process beyond an antiquated formula of writing. This is how students develop the ability to articulate themselves, not just verbally, but also within their writing. They need structured opportunities to draft. They need opportunities to receive feedback, to be able to apply that feedback and revise. And they need opportunities to be able to reflect on their writing and realize what their voice is in their writing. And it also is learning about how to critically engage with AI. AI is not going anywhere. Students need to know how to use it as a tool rather than to be dependent upon it. The program I'm proposing is the Authentic Voice Lab. It would be a library-led program. It would be designed to develop writing as a process of thinking. It would consist of bi-weekly workshops where students engage in the writing process, proper methodical revision, and analysis of their own work over time. These processes are what real writers do. And if we want our students to be able to be successful into their high school and college careers, they need to be able to find their voice as writers. What this is going to look like. So in this program, students will move through a very continuous cycle. It would be drafting, just the writing, receiving feedback from their peers and mentors, revising, utilizing that feedback, and reflecting within themselves and with mentors. Students need to recognize the cadence of AI. They need to understand the grammar that AI uses and the language AI uses against their own voice to be able to understand the flaws within artificial intelligence structures. Students will learn that AI is not a replacement. It's not a replacement for thought. It's a tool. It's a tool to help improve, not change, nor create their author's voice. There will be a community connection. This program will incorporate community writing mentors. These are not guest authors, these are not guest speakers. They are individuals who engage directly in the feedback process. actively workshopping. So they could be local authors or people that create slam poetry projects within the communities, people that are used to writing and the writing process and used to workshopping writing with peers and in any kind of creative space. This allows students to see how writing functions in real-world contexts. And this process will build meaningful connections to life outside of school walls. Students will not be asked to avoid using AI. As I said before, it's not going anywhere. We need to be able to teach these students how to utilize AI as a tool. Instead, they will analyze AI-generated writing, how prompting with different language also provides different contexts that AI provides back. They will learn how to revise AI. They will learn how to develop the ability to identify the differences between automated language and authentic voice, their authentic voice and others' authentic voices. This helps them understand how to use AI as a tool without allowing it to replace their thinking and still be able to recognize others' thinking and others' writing. So my target group, this program would be designed for middle school students. This age group is at a stage where students are still developing their voice, their identities, and their confidence as purposeful writers. This is the budget proposal. So the total cost of this program should be budgeted at about $1,000. This will include writing materials, publishing costs for a student anthology, digital tools and access to support revision and editing, and small stipends for community mentors who will be participating in the feedback process and in the workshopping. This budget supports both instruction and authentic publication, ensuring students produce meaningful work. This round. Research supports this approach in several ways. Studies show that peer feedback and self-assessment significantly improve writing quality and student understanding of genre and structure. Writing itself is also a metacognitive practice and process, which means it directly supports how students think and how students think about their thinking. It supports how they reflect on their thinking and their thoughts and how to regulate their own learning. Research shows that structured peer feedback significantly improves writing quality and genre understanding, which is a very important ability for students, especially going into high school and college. Additionally, research indicates that when AI-supported feedback is combined with human revision, students produce stronger and more meaningful writing. Student growth will be measured through pre- and post-writing assessments using a higher level standardized rubric. We'll also track revision across drafts. We will analyze improvements in voice and structure, and we'll compare early writing samples to their final products. This ensures that progress is well documented and directly measurable and tied to the instruction. So the library It's important to note that the school library is uniquely positioned to lead this work because it supports both literacy and technology. The library provides a space where students can engage in inquiry and collaboration, and skill development across all content areas. This program is not about resisting artificial intelligence or creating a way around it. This program is about ensuring that students remain thinkers, that they are able to utilize artificial intelligence correctly and ethically. It's about their being able to find their voice and improve their writing. And it's about understanding that articulation and thought begins with the writing process.